We're going to be talking about after treatment for the next few weeks, and you can download pictures of after treatment on Google or wherever, so I don't need to show you a lot of stuff you probably already saw. This will be more the meat and potatoes of how it works, the things you need to know, why it's got a problem, why it doesn't have a problem, basically the function. We'll talk a little bit about what it actually does as far as cleaning up the environment, which I think is a good thing, by the way. But that's kind of the idea of where this is going. So I wanted to kick this off with a real world problem we had. This was a 2020 RT 860 Grove off-road crane, and it had a QSB 6.7 in it. And the engine was running fine, operated like the machine, but the regen light came on, and no matter what he did, he couldn't get it off. So they called us out to check it out. Let's look what we found. So these are the lamps that are on the dashboards of either machines or trucks. The bottom lamp is usually not in the machines. The top and the middle lamp are. So the top, the DPF, diesel particulate filter, when that lights up, it means we need to do a regen, and the operator can do that by meeting certain criteria in the machine or the truck or the vehicle, whatever it is, and then pressing the appropriate button, which is usually the light. The light is usually a light and a button in combination. Usually the button is blue most of the time. Sometimes it's a software button on a screen. Most of the time it's a hard button. The middle light, the Hess light, simply means that the after treatment is hot, and it's telling you that you need to be careful because the exhaust system is very hot because you're either in a regen or cooling down from a regen. This is a visual graph of a 1.5 hour spreadsheet or data log that was captured while the unit was in a regen. Our mechanic went down and put it in a regen using the Insight software. Everything appeared to be normal, that it was regenning, but if you look to the left, you see the 500. It never got over 500. If you go into a successful regen, stationary regen, it's going to be up minimum usually of 950, 970, sometimes into 1,000, up to 1,100 degrees. So you've got our three temps there. The brown is the diesel oxidation catalyst outlet. The blue is the diesel oxidation catalyst inlet. And the gray is the diesel particulate filter outlet. And this graph that you see is 1.5 hours long, and it never did get hot. So you're looking at the exhaust temperature. We were called out to regen the unit because the dash light was asking the operator to put the unit into a regen. He did, but it went right back to calling for a regen, keeping the manual regen lamp illuminated. As you can see above, the temperatures never got over 500 degrees, way too low to effectively clean a diesel particulate filter. So after taking a look at the data log, I looked at all the values that you need to look at to figure out why it wouldn't regen. And for the life of me, I could not figure out what was going wrong because everything looked good. So I decided to check to see if there was a software update that affected this problem. Because after all, software does run the engine these days. So let's take a look and see what I found. So let's take a look at what our ECM calibration or software package is. Look up at the left, ECM code. We have a CC981.09. Everything to the right of the dot is the revision or current release. This is called the ECM calibration revision history. It's a public document found inside of QuickServe Online. And you can search for your calibration. I went in and I typed in, look over on the left, you can see CC 981, and then at the top it's 00, and then we go on down the list. Remember, we had version 0.09, one up from the bottom. If you look all the way to the right, that basically tells any changes that that update will make that are important. Let's go to revision 10. Resolves an issue of stationary regen not starting or completing. So the problem was a software bug. And the failure code next to it, that EQPEAW, means that Cummins would have probably paid some warranty for going out, troubleshooting, and putting this in. Also notice the date that that was released. It was released on June 10th, 2022. We were looking at this problem back in February, March timeframe. So that wasn't out yet. So I'm sure that some people reported to Cummins that there was a problem. They couldn't figure it out. Cummins looked into it and they fixed it as quick as they could. Once we saw that this update was available, we downloaded it and we went out to the machine and we used the Cummins software called Insight to install the software update into the ECM. And then we tried to do a stationary regen, and lo and behold, it worked just fine. Thanks for joining me. See you next time on Earl Splendor.